차도. Anybody want sweet tea or salt butter tea? Either one. Sweet tea. That would be fine.
Butter or sweet? No. This is on tea. Butter or sweet? Butter.
She's the whole. Not good. You know, I did. You shouldn't give me
Plain tea and no milk. No milk. Is this made with milk? No, this is with butter. But there's no milk in that. Okay. For you? Sweet tea. Sweet tea, okay, behind. Sweet or butter? Sweet behind. Sweet butter.
We need to welcome our teacher and our spiritual advisor, Gangkar Rinpoche. And I find myself speechless. It's been, I'm told, 9 years since he was last here. And we're very grateful that he came back. I'm also grateful to him because he brought all of you out of the woodwork. All these wonderful students of his who we haven't seen for a while are all here to greet him. So I'm glad you're all here to greet him. He's such a wonderful teacher, and he's been such a great support to us for so many years. So Rinpoche, we want to welcome you back to Minnesota. We're glad that you're here. We don't know how long you're going to stay. We hope it will be for a while, but we understand that you're a very busy person. So we're grateful for the fact that you've been able to find some time to spend with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, don't buy jump then the decision one that jump by young Baba, so the Sangi Riba, Shapo, the Ban, the Warship, and Jitan, Chimba, Jabo, Juri, Kalo, Joa, Lana, Neba, Hana, Inanti, Tamba, Sangi, jump then the Shaja to Vala, Jazalo, Jabo, Jabo, don't buy jump then the decision one. So the Sangi Riba, Shapo, the Warship, Jitan, Chimba, Jabo, Juri, Kalo, Joa, Lana, Neba, Inanti, Tamba, and then the beggar was to Bala, the boy, and then the one Rajoma, and the Sangi Riba, Shapo, the Lana, Neva, Lada, Nilam, Sangi, the Shaja to Bala, Jazalo, Chubu, Capsule, de dejen jamba cha jamba yang da ba ri wa da sha so jamba ge wa shi ba ji de jamba je bo ra du ka lo ju wa
Pada mi nam je brahma sanje chum den de kaya wa shaja sumala chasa che o Gudam je sa jen de la komba gumbo Nani je den de na sho je so de je ge wa je la chasa Nanda goma chodo suzan wa Yeshe kyazo seke rumbo Taba jide somna lambe wa Gombo chonye chula cha Senjo tenpa jimen dawe shir Senjo taba chula cha Dude chura silpa suma chi Nyame jibje chula cha Selo gombo Roje chelemba Kamje kembe Ko sema yende jaso shi Deje chela cha Tade deja chewa yo Gebe ngezo le deje Chido tena chunjuruwa Shingyo chela cha Zelo tene la yande la wa da la ra do ne shinge dharma yende ne gende la ya cha li wa che ya me cha shin ge wa pen so so ba che rang ge se ne yong so de ne sang ge den ba yi karma ra re ma me ta yu ma se wa chu da Milam Moda Jindabo, Nije Chenam de Dorata, Sunam de Tamje Sebaye, Goba Domne Genje Tadu, Gada Nada Cheve Laprume, Sebe Tole Drowa Drowa Sho.
There's only one mic.
That's okay.
Hot.
This is like
You keep this.
If you put it right there, I think we can get both.
both of us, yeah?
You use for this is used for him. Okay. The woman that's on that. Da Tangwa Tashdile Shure, that Angora. Good morning, that Tashdile, yes, that Angora.
So, good morning, everyone, and I would like to greet you first of all this morning.
And Jida, the King is Sumana Shire, that local Kuzi, the Sule to Yomaris, Ina Yang, and it Tange Jimindu somebody of Chignich. Chicken, Mama Jane is cigarettes, Shen Sama, want to Jane Yumba down. Here you go, that lot of nothing, ships and Shadarisha. I can't this chin. That in this paper, which announced.
So, as Ken mentioned earlier, it's been 9 years since I'm seeing you. And most of you I've actually seen before. Maybe I'm seeing only one or two new faces. But apart from that, I have seen you before, I know you before. So I'm really, really happy to see all my old friends.
Ani Tajida, Chug Rodaya Rela, Jigde Mig Rodaya Rela, Benjor Yajang Room, Mejang Room. Ani Devachik Chesa Du Kala, Devatembuch in the Deadi. Jida Jigde Mi Kunju the Chena, Sira Yaputa, Demutsuriores, 3 in Zao. And a lot of that delay I can, so you may say, just shoot to your married. No chance to discover she clever. She any Gabutang.
So whether we talk in Dharmic spiritual terms or in worldly terms, to be able to actually maintain a very lasting and committed relationship is actually admired, whether it is in a spiritual context or it is in a worldly context. And so, irrespective of whether we have money or not, relationship, to be able to actually maintain very strong relationship and bond of friendship and so forth is actually praised, both in secular and worldly context. And so therefore I really appreciate, even though I've not been able to stay here, I really appreciate your long-term friendship and your love towards me, and for showing up to greet me this morning. So therefore, it is also a source of inspiration for me, like when I see all friends coming to see me like this, out of woodworks, as Ken mentioned. It also kind of gives me a sense of responsibility, to do something from my own side. So it's really a very good opportunity for all of us to actually get together and get inspired to do something about our spiritual activities.
That Ani Tango Manga to Tuban Sunte, or to Tommy Gale Gabioris, Rua, Chiragale, Jayore, Tina Dami Tobas in Rodachi Inza, Lega Lineage, Michi, Min to Guyava Inza, anything can check, and Tony check, and they say on check. That have a negative children.
So since the inception of the center about 10 years ago, is it 10 years ago? 15 years ago, all of you have worked really hard to basically keep the center going, maintaining it. But for the purpose of administration and legality, we have to have some appointed members, and so far Ken, Anthony, and Dejivangmo have served as on the board of the centers. So would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you, but also especially the 3 board members.
Board member now, Gishi should be a Yoris.
And also Gishi Chandu is in the board member. Is a board member.
And the Tikon develop Brian Kalishira Yoris.
And also Brian here served the center with dedication before that.
Ani Tigana Shinki Taninji Rebecca.
Rebecca also served a lot. She's not here, maybe. She's not here.
Or Tim that is going to Jebede, and Quran. Rangshi, that Rangsu Rangi Jeberas. Other DJ Taman and Mazumaya, could do town and Katiji, and the kitchen Johnston.
And also I thought like the one who actually gave us this center, Tim, as you all must remember, as you all also know the sad story of his suicide. So also, this is also a good opportunity for all of us to pray for his soul, and also, to basically remember his contribution to the, running of this center today.
Tatine, Pagachil, and also again. Adela. That's one that she that's there's carbohydrates. And you know, what is or there's someone. And
also would like to acknowledge the kindness of Geshe Adinla. In his old age, he spent a lot of time here giving teachings.
And then down the she said, she should talk about the Kalishra Jayoris, chance go to your in a young. And it under Momanga Yundine, who turned the Ghana Dallas. The Valley of Choto to watch Udu Jang and Mabushida Yoris, and in the put in the shower is. She's so young, in this teacher, Rogers, you can laugh. And it Dallas lay was choose to go to the thing. She did and the mistake to draw me some to change. Papa Pakers, this thing go to Bares, it's a call, make up young patch, draw Bares.
And also, as all of you know, Geshe Chandrula here has actually contributed a lot by staying here at the center. And he had go to Dallas to open a new center, and that is basically in response to requests. Not just once, like on the first trip there were requests from people in Texas and Houston and Dallas to open a center. I couldn't do anything at the time, but then there was a second request and I couldn't say no to that request, so therefore I had to kind of temporarily send Geshe Chandrula to go to Dallas and look at the situation to see whether we can open a center there.
That's in England, Nedan the League Tony. That is Kane. Tangan Koran, why she would be zero soon. She don't be this at the Susu Suya that she would be the Askayo Maris, the Sui in the Rock. Susu busy son and busy Shirayonis. Rock, beginning that. I'm mistake. She's doing like a lequoya, but then busy she would get less. In a book. As of that time, which the was left at the moment which tango and the part of this.
And so then as Ken said, I'm really busy person. Actually, busy is for all of us a very subjective thing. We can make ourselves all really busy ourselves so that we don't have time for anything. Or if we basically relax, we have time for things. So so it's not like I have so many public responsibilities that I'm so busy like that, but I've been sort of busy in the way that I chose to be. But jokes aside, the act of actually coming here and having to spend time here, that actually takes a lot of time. And then I've been engaged in public monastic responsibilities and so forth. So therefore, that was a difficult thing to do right away for me.
That's in it. Need to down there, young or something. Shoe long as the rest of the young to look at this. The longer rest, total to the hard. Nick. Anything that you don't need, I mean, you don't cook the Cameroon chicken. Down only a gun. The day you can get somebody can get Tony and down Joshua stand number is the day is a lonely Joshua chicken. The day is a lonely chicken. You drop a chumbaretta, the little children lonely. Check out the year corsons. A deep modern rest. Dilatene not so young, Visa Shune, and so young was some. And to show Switzerland, Naraki, called Champions. Swiss give visa Tarirani, 9 got the legitimate drawers and the draw chansons, and the Inza. The little harvest, that's all the Tibetan objects.
And then it has been 5 years actually. This is better. Okay. It has been 5 years since I actually received the visa for US visa. I was granted like 10 years visa, but it's already been 5 years since I got the visa and was not able to come here. And one of the main main kind of monastic responsibility in the recent times is basically I was appointed as the abbot of the Tawang monastery in North India by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and I've served in that capacity for 2.5 years. So that was one of the main reasons why I couldn't come here. And when I was appointed, actually, I was about to go to Switzerland to see, because some of my relatives, they invited me to come and spend time with them. And when I got the Swiss visa, that next day I got appointment as the abbot of Tawang monastery. So I had to kind of cancel that trip to go to Tawang monastery.
다원데 야고 좀소 네 가르쳐 다 로니마도 되고 정요 말했을 때 어떤 가지 로망을 하고 요랬을 때 봐. 내가 당군이네. 경주 로니 그러는 되게 지가나 요랬어. 그렇죠? 다한테 인자 로니 차와 되네. 근데 근데 주용도 알았어.
So fortunately for me, I was actually able to serve as the abbot of Tawang monastery for 2 years. Sometimes, people get stuck there. And His Holiness the Lama kind of told me, you can go there for 2 years. And then accordingly, I served for 2 years. And after completing that term as the abbot, then I was actually able to come here sort of immediately right away.
다 단지 순대 다운 캠보디 로셀링 주베 쿠페 거야 당 아니 로순순 페 거야 다디 소 차버스 뭐막 로스랑 자출레 다 단단 로셀 주베 코스 페야 지신들 무시 페고 쓰
So now, they reinstituted an old tradition at Tawang monastery of the abbots being able to be sent from Drepung monastery, reincarnated lamas, among the reincarnated lamas of Drepung monastery. So they reinstituted that policy, and each lama has to serve for 3 years as the abbot, and most probably Drupal Rinpoche might have to go soon in that capacity when his turn comes.
표현을 로셀이랑 레샤스 도망가 그걸 다 내주셔야 이내야다 남중하고 네 아니 자 그세도다다 생상을 해신 다 담다 페버레스 그봐 안다 나닝 안 줄려면 다 아군 좀 다양한 가지들 다 다 로셀이랑 자마 다야 제어레도스 다디 좀 대가스니 뉴스 대가 내주
So prior to 1959, before the Chinese takeover of Tibet, the tradition used to be that at Tawang monastery they would send abbots from Drepung Loseling monastery, like reincarnated lamas and so forth, to be the abbots. And that tradition sort of died after 1959 due to a lot of situations. One of them being Tibet lost its independence, and so it's just His Holiness sent like random people who was available. And after my completion of the term as the abbot, His Holiness now reinstituted that policy. And so now from henceforth, reincarnated lamas from Drepung monastery will serve as the abbot on a turn-by-turn basis, each serving for a period of 3 years.
아니 내가 이제서 그래서 컴퓨터 탐지 참아를 지러 왔다. 현재 이 콘텐츠 녹다 중요했어. 아주 콘도. 녹다 때 다녀오는 날 주중에 미지랬다. 아니 간다. 야부 중요했어. 링에서 당가 마신 담 거를 요런 때때서 요랬어.
So maybe some of you might have already known it because of Wi-Fi and internet and so forth. But prior to my appointment as the abbot of the Tawang monastery, there was some sort of conflict, within the monastery, And so I was sent to a conflict zone, really, to solve the conflict. And so I just wanted to let you know that every organization, every center has a little bit of conflict. It's okay. It's okay to have some sort of some problems. It's like we live in a kind of human community. So when I first came here to Minnesota, I came here to serve at the Gyude Monastery, and as you know, there was some problems then, right, at the monastery. So when you actually look at the year when Kajuling was established by Tim and Gyude Center was established, there's no documentary kind of proof as to who was established first. No clear documentary. But Kajuling was not something that I actually opened or established. It was given to us by Tim, So even though that was the case, there was some sort of rumor that when I was actually working as the abbot of Gyude Monastery, I established Kajuling, a new center. So there was a little bit of rumor like that too, even though the reality is it was actually offered to me by Tim. So personally for me and for the Tibetan government and Tibetan religious institutions, Gyude Monastery is a very important monastery. I have my utmost respect to the monastery, not just from a personal standpoint of view, but also when you look at from an overall point of view as a Buddhist community, Gyude actually is a very esteemed, revered institution that we all should respect. And with that clearly in my mind, when I asked Ken, when you actually advertise for teachings, make sure there is no conflict. That was one of my directions. And also irrespective of the fact that, we have members that kind of merged between Gyude Monastery and Kajuling Monastery, I still consider our organization to be secondary, to the presence of Gyude Monastery here. So this is something that also I wanted to let you know.
So I was your sangudus on the
And over the years, we have so many esteemed masters visiting to the monastery, such as Venerable Geshe Dorjila, the current Sherpa Chöje, and Ling Chungzang Rinpoche, Abong Rinpoche, and many other Geshes. So for those of you who have actually been able to go attend to their teachings at Gyodha Monastery, you've been able to actually taste the nectar of teachings, over the years. So therefore, even from a point of view of Kajuling as a center, Gyodha Monastery is very, very important to us, kind to us, in the sense that it has actually given our students at Kajuling, a chance to hear and listen and study under these various masters. And here at Kajuling, Ajahn has been giving a lot of teachings. I've tried over the, whenever I had time to come here and visit. So what we are really doing is not something political. So, because it is kind of spiritual, the activities of Gyodha Monastery and the activities of Kajuling actually kind of support each other, in so to speak, because it is all about giving teachings and developing ourselves spiritually. And because it is not political organizations, we are actually benefiting each other.
아니 최다 니가 좀에 대한 강의치 다 드레스 망부지 가네 드레스 지도 간라 병나라 차샤고 있네 다 깨다 상호 담은 마장 잡고 당겨요 말이스 드레 인자 땅가랑 주디 나니zen 땅 소마란 참마기 지지도 말한 참매 소남 사베 드부다지 용시 바치레스 지단는가 르부치 당은 샤샹지레스 Today in Zang, everyone preaching me, Tibani, Lopchong Tamanang, Chubatang, and the rich gunning about Michelle, Rewashu and Nashi Chene, and Remiche in this chin to Kajan and to Chikiang number is. Today in Zang, Tigi Dang and to Lord Mason now, Remiche, that and the Shabjishu, Dang and to this, Danda kind of step who you to make DJ, Dang on some of this. Simgurchi Chorus, Temegi. Sungegi channel and Grand Nanchu pay sharing the channel, Kanji channel, Gonglore Tama, shoot to put to join which Charles Sunday, Tadangi Sam Kiwichin. They use today in the Maran Sama Sonam, then and the Logi in that and the Ladina Pedger and Bridget make up shoe chop baby. 슈구지 템베 기타 가상이 가상 템베르지 이제 고송스 디레인자 디시랑을 하고 소남 지난 다른 사람 소남 사샤 섬 증기 유스당에 섬 소남 그 드부다지레 디레인주 간다 아니 말아 가자 레바 이자도 저 가자 레바 나들 사니마 케바 난징 순죽 시우야 정샤스
So then, usually the challenge is, if we have a qualified teacher, then that teacher not necessarily has the English language, right? And if the teacher has English linguistic skills, maybe not necessarily qualified as a teacher, right? So therefore, it is very, very difficult to come across teachers that have both of these qualities. Not only they are actually qualified in terms of their Buddhist understanding and studies, but they are also qualified linguistically, right? For example, for myself, because I've not actually studied English when I was younger, I have this English barrier to be able to communicate with you Buddhist teachings. And so since last year, I consider it to be the result of the good karma of all of us collectively, that Drupal Rinpoche has been able to come here as I requested. After completing his studies, I requested Drupal Rinpoche to come to Kajuling Monastery and teach here. Drupal Rinpoche is, somebody that I know since we are younger. Our residential colleges are next to each other actually, so we sort of grew up together in some sense. But Drupal Rinpoche, more importantly, for the purpose of receiving teachings, is someone who is not only qualified in his mastery over Buddhist philosophy and practice, but also he is proficient in English. And so therefore, I consider this to be the result of our collective karma, that we have among us a teacher that is basically just perfect in every sense, not only in English kind of skills, but also in his understanding and mastery of Buddhist language, but also in his age. He's sort of youthful, right? So all the qualities are here. So we are very, very fortunate. We are so very lucky. And so therefore, we should think about ways to basically serve Rinpoche and make his kind of living as comfortable as possible while he is giving us teachings. And I just heard that Rinpoche would be able to stay with us longer because his visa came, right? His visa came just a day ago or something like that.
A few days ago.
Few days ago. And so it's all like spontaneous kind of arising of conditions that today on a Sunday we are actually able to announce Rinpoche's arriving of the visa, and that Rinpoche would be able to stay here longer with us to give us teachings. So therefore, if I look at the turn of events, I consider it to be very, very auspicious. On Friday, we got the formal letter from the Department of Immigration regarding Rinpoche's visa. So Friday, the Tibetan term for that is pasang, and we say that whatever activities that you begin on a Friday becomes successful. So, and then Saturday, I was able to meet Rinpoche and meet many of you. On Sunday, we are meeting here in this particular context. So looking at all of these turn of events, I actually think that all the auspicious circumstances and situations are arranging themselves spontaneously, so that I think that Kajuling is actually going to flourish even more now.
제 집에 가는 난고고에는 다 양주로 잠잡해 다 가려는 제 돈나 야고 요레스다 좀 비치 봐 가지고 있는 거네 줄로 가는 양도 같이 그러서 가지고 숨어야 돼 된다 아니 내가 난 시한테 내가 봐 봐 근데 좀
rinpoche rinpoche
다들 전에 다 가다가 저기 일편 더 해야 돼 선물 딱 자, 제고 루스 아니 내가 난 시를 무지나 다양한 지제 로단체 보다 디발 슈구상 대수다 데베 도나시 대고도 니만 찍대 봐도 좋죠 이제 주어야 말했어 생각도 봐줘 저 양친 다 내가 어떻게 좀 시달렸어
So I also thought of requesting you if you can organize sometimes like live stream teachings so that Rinpoche's teachings can be live streamed and the broader audience can be reached. Basically we should do our best to basically reach as much as possible and utilize this particular opportunity while Rinpoche is here. And also, sometimes Rinpoche might have to go around, give some teachings, in other places. So we shouldn't be so strict as to say that, we are giving you your visa, so you cannot even leave the center for a day. We shouldn't be enforcing a really strict kind of, requirements.
다티네 당간 좀 보지 믹스다 다 도도라고디 당고만 안 주디네 참 참여기 그래 군다레 두즈레 간지 찬 야구나 요래 오만은 가서 당고 용도 시라게 비교를 들라 참 참여 군다바다 제요래 안에들 손자 참마다 도대체 쉬야 직당 어디가 내시 오만 안 주줄래야 에니 Andrew and Claire did woman she got Rokanayore, then she's me. I want to Michelle, she ran away on Nasha, to Shirayagore, to China, she had which is soon get down. Kuya Yagoyor, the soon get as much into this Gangaji orders. Today is that chance, Shirayago Chesha. Being on two Cheshire is, one doing on Shirayago Johnson, and to Chenhouse.
And then I also would like to acknowledge the contributions that you made in the beginning of the center, in buying the statues and tangas, and many of you contributed a lot. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you. And also I would like to acknowledge and thank Andrew and Claire here, who has actually helped a lot for our center. But not just to us, but also to Abang Rinpoche, in helping him as well. Even though Abang Rinpoche is extremely qualified as a Buddhist teacher, he has some, of course, some language barrier. So I'm sure that, your help must have meant a lot to him.
안들 잡으면 이제 봐도 싫어 폐용민도 anything that 좀 자기 야구시라 좀 샤. 안들 간나시 간나니 주가는 이제 폐는 손데 너 지키 생각을 하나 주시고 좀 집에 가라. 되네. 된다.
메리.
안다 메리. 로. 메리기. 아니 말이. 좀 잘려나야 한다 소바 이제 주시고 잡샤스. 다들 참아. 알아도 참아. 슈부치 대슈 토야게 당 가져올린 당딱 쳐줘서 상어 야구 용야게 튕기는 거야를 스테인다시라 도이체나
So, when I say Andrew and Claire, your help made a lot of difference to Abang Rinpoche, especially because his English language is not perfect, like Drupal Rinpoche's. If you place Drupal Rinpoche, myself and Abang Rinpoche in an American landscape, Drupal Rinpoche will have the least problem to navigate, around. Then that's the reality. I also would like to acknowledge and thank Mary for helping Drupal Rinpoche get a job at the university. that really went a lot, not only in terms of ensuring that Drupal Rinpoche can stay here, but also like directly contributing to his ability to give teachings here at Kajuling Monastery. So thank you so much.
강아체 말이스 하디요 참아야 하디 내가 정말 하고 그래요 말 체바 가 종요 말이스 안들이 인자 장수로 거야디 하고 주주제때 체바가 뭐다 맞죠 뭐 빌름 늘 종요를 다들이 인자 다른 빛이 당 가나시 시 준주브레다 거기 되게다 근데 그때 가나시 내가 링에가 말한 상마 아니 tumbo 개체슈 라루 tumbo 요야다 제 아니 benjor kandere juyeba inanda menanda arada tama jigi jila kar yiche yong tu ya dang jigi jila ani yabu yong ba ya de malam zu chugi achebege ta devushi res devushi dongo res de yin da malam tama jigi jila yiche che ani jigi ani lama to lama paru jang sab nam and the Rinpoche, Maran Rinpoche was a day at Tang, and the Lamaship, that the Lama to Langat by Yapoche Rinpoche, Tata Trotu by Chik Tang, and the Ganashi, Maran Chud and the Zula Chik. Nea, the Parche Mayan, Susu, Luigi, Nenata, Lasoka, the Mayuya, other to Yanni Yam to Mulam Yap, Yanni Yam to the Chekoya Kitchen Bliss.
So now I think it is also important to basically acknowledge the kindness of Drupal Rinpoche and also Yeshe Chandru. Also, he's not physically here, he's part of our Sangha and he's actually running a center in Houston. And to actually maintain a very pure samaya, or relationship, spiritual relationship between the students and the teachers is very, very important. And also what is very important, something that I wanted to tell you is, irrespective of whether we have wealth or not, to have trust with each other and to be able to help each other, and that is also very important. So when we are able to do this, irrespective of our differences in money and wealth and status and so forth, that we're able to trust each other as Sangha members, we're able to actually trust our teachers, and that we're able to help each other, then I actually consider that to be a sign of our spiritual practice. And these are actually responsible for peace within the community and result of our spiritual practices. And then it is also important to pray that Drupal Rinpoche stays long and that all his situations are cleared and accomplished, so that all the conditions are accomplished, so that he would be able to stay among us and give us continuous teachings. And we also should pray that we also live long without health complications, and that we will be able to continue to actually enjoy and taste the nectar of teachings.
직처라 지시에 제대야 김스 또 찍니 아니 메마부지다 추기 추열이야 도낭유야 같이 아니 미세 드리는 장고를 미치 쇼는 낭바 제바다 낭바 진행 쪽이 은 최시에 거야 돼 개침부 임바다 희에는 대바 토야 돼 개침부 임바다 아들의 손발로 되네 아니 지 최신에 최순례의 아주조 강자 승인상 어서로다 고야디 개침부 차기도 없어 어디에 인자 당가란 참여게 Kadi ne Kabdilia, number Sanji, Zambuli, Nangolaya, in the Kanda, number Sanji, which the contour, the Tanges in the middle, Tamegibe, number Sanji, which the Shivaji and the Sun, Pong Pulia, Pungedi, Zawadi, Manjun Park, the Bajet, and Jangu, to the arrest, Rinza, Annie, Jangu Micheki, and Pubeki. 뭐 로치 좀 수도 수기 많이 나야 아니 제일 장고야 돼 계속 무슨 요 그래서 제일 더 난한 거야 돼 아니 가다 중화 뒤에 많이 나야 장고를 미시 투지 담자 되지 아니 디조 장수 강투도 주와이나 아니 갈 가부칭에 디조기 중화 뒤진기 내가 유나면은 디 차두스 간나만 하시지네 땅안 속이야 페지드난 페체와 좀 손주 슈만용의 배제를 이렇게 말했어도 대바매봐. 근데 인자 당연한 디 공백이 차시지 주토야 당 공백이 차시 주토야 당 주바다 때네 아니 소남 치부 사야겠다 말한 견네 저와 근데 자꾸 예스 근데 쇼래는 거 같지 가다 가이는 다 야제 로가도 고추니 차도레스
So therefore, I also would like to tell the importance of understanding the teachings and practicing based on understanding, and not actually practicing just based on pure belief. The importance and the significance of that. The situation today is that more and more people are interested in the Buddha Dharma because people kind of think that there is something that Buddha Dharma can contribute to the world. Not just as a religion, but beyond religion as well, in terms of secular meditation and in terms of inducing ethical sensibilities that are directly responsible for our mental peace and therefore peace in the world. This is largely the fact that Buddhism is now seen as something of a major religious tradition that has a potential to contribute to the world is largely due to the efforts of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, right, who has been tirelessly championing the cause of Buddha Dharma so that it can reach beyond the context of religion, Buddhism as a religion, right? And so, in fact, His Holiness says he sees a large section of Buddhism is not actually religion per se, but it is rather, kind of scientific, something that can be verified and tested through your own experience. And so, therefore, what His Holiness the Dalai Lama recently said on his birthday is that the greatest birthday gift to me is your study and the practice of Dharma. He said, if you wanted to give me something on my birthday, give me that practice. Give me, do your study and practice of Dharma, and that becomes the greatest gift, my birthday gift. So therefore, accordingly, I would like to think that, whatever we are doing here at Cultural Center plays a small role in contributing to His Holiness the Dalai Lama's vision of developing spiritually globally on a community by community, right? So whatever we are doing here is actually, I hope, and I believe this is the case, that we are actually contributing to His Holiness the Dalai Lama's greater vision of establishing a kind of ethical world and therefore a peaceful world.
되네. 다들 용주다. 그래. 다들 용주다 먼저. Dom de Lea, Kambadina Lea, Unimushi, which that's on it. The Eris, Vigitini Kandar, and that Kanda Kayan Chatham, Kingdom, Chatham, Anthony, Kind, and about this level. Three in the Tadi Kambadi Chidan Kuran Pumula, Tom Tavare, in the Katakan Pumul, Yarus, and the Shashi Oris. Three in the Annie, Anthony. Aranzo Kamba, so the Sui in the Kamba Chignalo, missing some death, Chona Tangi was Maran Sangma, and Kulo Domnandi, did not did it in the shower, is Chidam, leading us mixing Korea, to Chishuba, Catch Mushira Thompsons, Tinza, Yeda Mixegi, Antonilla, to Chishua, Tama Catch our jeans.
So then I would like to acknowledge and thank Anthony here for allowing us to use his home as the physical basis for the Kajuling Center for many years now. As we all know, even if we have a guest in our home for a few days, sometimes it's complicated, right? But Anthony has been actually hosting us for many years. And would like to thank, on behalf of Kajuling and on behalf of myself, I would like to thank Anthony for his, generosity and for his basically, graciousness and openness to have all of us here use this particular space. And Anthony has now sold this property to his daughter. So it no longer belongs to Anthony, but we have requested his daughter to allow us to continuously use this space for a few more months or something like that. So let us thank Anthony, for allowing us to, use this sacred space for all these years. And let us also pray and dedicate that, when Anthony's daughter moves in here and, she will have a very joyful time here and that, her wishes are spontaneously accomplished.
membership so that manga singing the Tine ishi chulu kunzu chan chakde yoris, keji she tuku yoris. Andi kanzu go tsuku yoris. De jang mo tangan kemri mangu jagi yoris, digi chet. Di kura shibaka lega yaku legi yoris, di kanzu go tsuku yoris.
So then I also wanted to acknowledge the role Dejin Wangmo plays in running the center, and also Yishe Chindula here. Particularly for Dejin Wangmo, behind the scene, all the fights that I had to fight for the center, I fight with Dejin Wangmo. First, because of, linguistic convenience, I can speak in Tibetan. And secondly, she's kind of sort of family, she's my family. And so therefore I can say whatever I feel like saying. And so therefore, Dejin Wangmo is actually mostly on the receiving end of my anger and, whatever I wanted to say about this, progress of the center and so forth. So would like to thank Dejin Wangmo for all the contributions that she makes to the betterment of this center. And now I'm actually going to be definitely for 4 months, and then we will see, depending on whether I have some sort of responsibility to take care of in India or not, but at least for 4 months. So in the next 4 months, now we have to plan what we can do together, like in terms of my schedule and so forth, something that we can talk about. But I think that with the setting right here now, everything is going to be wonderful. That's what I think. So also would like to acknowledge the presence of Dejavamala's mother here. Dejavamala's father is related to two of my predecessors, and so I know them, from India for a long time, and that also makes it easier for me to scold Dejavamala and exploit this relationship even more. So in the next 4 months, we can discuss about this, but my plan right now is maybe, I can give a teaching per week, one teaching per week, or maybe a teaching every 2 weeks, something like, depending on, how things turn out. But, some of those teachings that could be physically here, some of the teachings that could be actually giving from some other, area, because I don't know, I could be traveling. So then, filling the statue with relics, this is something that I have to do. And for those of you who have statues at home and who wanted it to be filled, please bring them here. I can do it while I do the relic filling with this particular statue here. Yeah. And then Rinpoche Rinpoche is going to help me as well with this. So of course, I have nothing more profound teachings to give than whatever Rinpoche is giving here. But because I'm here, because of a connection, I thought I might, be able to. It might be useful, if I occasionally give you some teachings. So otherwise I might become unemployed.
Okay, you are not for him, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not soon Ph.D. I don't know.
And we also thank the interpreters.
Sure.
That we've had too.
So
that's it. Yeah.
La.
Okay. Not a good translator. That's why I was worried about why he's calling me.
Tenzin Bhuchung, Mama, once the Pakijanal, Gombakar, the Zubichetung, the Yundugan, and you go on Gobacheris, Kijuchi, the Samatang, Twins Kayomaris, and the Ghana Dang, Inata, Marazu Kaju, and Annie, Koran, Dita, me, doing the Koran, the one cheap part of shoes, so I can't eat. That is my domestic. Join in another in Koran. Medicine should discuss, and Koran Tanda, Ph.D. The Zoo Tony. 내가 레기오레스 소야 진짜 천재 친구 다자 좀 이야 아들의 두 삼아 라모야 고용야 아니 안 삼에 좀 치초 의베 삼에 도미 좀 나로 announce.
So Rinpoche is saying there is a long history between Rinpoche and Bhuchung. When Rinpoche came here earlier, many years ago, for monasteries tour purposes, he was the one who has kind of helped and had that relationship as a translator. Again, as you all know, Rinpoche needs that. And after that also, there was a connection of like, again, Bhuchung working as a translator for Khachuling Center for few years, and that's where we were able to kind of work together and kind of help his paperwork too at that time. And now he's doing his Ph.D. at Wisconsin. Again, a lot of great work out there, not to go in too much detail, but again, great work out there. And from here also, we, Drupa Rinpoche and we, Gangkar Rinpoche and all the community, the Khachuling Center's member would like to really wish him best of luck for this program or Ph.D. and for his success.
Any pay you down, Jagana, watching half in Kaletiasun school. She would say, any Chata Chimbo Ningan.
He is making his PhD on Mahamudra, and for that thesis, he really worked hard for 1 or 2 years in Nepal and India. So since Rinpoche came here, when Bhuchung heard about it, he visited from medicine to meet Rinpoche, and it was really good because now today that's why he's able to help serve as a translator. It's not that we don't have a translator or somebody who can speak English like Drupa Rinpoche could have spoken, but then Rinpoche felt it doesn't feel comfortable because Drupa Rinpoche himself is not really a translator. He's also a guru, so he doesn't feel comfortable Drupa Rinpoche translating for Gangkar Rinpoche, and that's why Gangkar Rinpoche feel very comfortable that Bhuchung is here and can kind of do that translation. And again, Gangkar Rinpoche is saying he was really uncomfortable sitting there and seeing that Drupa Rinpoche is sitting there, down there, even though both of them are Rinpoche and a guru. It's just the, what do you say, the elderly or kind of elderly-wise seniority-wise, Rinpoche said he's okay sitting there, otherwise he's uncomfortable, and he was asking like, can somebody bring a chair here and so that Drupa Rinpoche can sit next to him, but since there isn't, and due to the seniority, he said, okay, I'll sit there.
Jina la tari Quran yung do peshas, and the Quran ta Jobo. September, October, now September, that didn't know Quran. And Miss Dunam, Shuya, then they should have books, day in that. And some way away on Lamta, or yes, and Quran, I do got Chicago College and Shas Quran, because she got that, not Joshi, which is.
Rinpoche is saying Bhuchung is accompanied by his fiancée Gina from Wisconsin, and they are planning to get married in September and October. So Rinpoche would like to really wish them for that. And the other thing Rinpoche would like to highlight is that Rinpoche heard Gina really took care of Bhuchung when he was really sick, when he was kind of working on his thesis and kind of concentrating on that study. He was really sick, and Gina really took care of him. So we would like to thank Gina for taking care of Bhuchung, and would like to wish both of them a great future and in September and October when they get married. So. And Bhuchung and Gina, thank you both for taking our time and coming here, driving from Wisconsin. So Rinpoche is saying to Gina that now in the next couple of months when Rinpoche is here, he will have to seek Bhuchung's help or work with him. So hopefully you won't mind that. Rinpoche is saying glad to see Sonam, because I think Sonam and Rinpoche grew together when they were like little kids back in India in the same school around 5 years when they were. Yeah. When they were little. Yeah, I think not that Rinpoche was in the same school. Rinpoche's teacher, who was taking care of Rinpoche, was a teacher in a school where Sonam was a student. So there were few of those elder or acha type who has taken care of Rinpoche also at that time when they were little in that place in India.
Okay. Thank you.
So now we're going to, yeah.
Dedication prayer.
So we're going to end with dedicational prayers.
So first we'll do a short mandala offering from page 4, and then we'll skip to the concluding prayers on page 6.
Oh, yeah.
Saji Puki Joshi Meto Chwang Riva Lingshu Nite Gembati Sanje Shindu Mite Kuwanyi Joku Namda Shingma Chulwa Yedam Guru Mandala Kandriyatayami Chanchu Sancho Rinpoche Mage Panam Kikuchi Kewa Nyamba Mebala Kone Kondo Pewasho Jetsun Lame Kutse Raptenchin Nanga Chile Shochu Kebata Losa Tembe Jome Sasongi Jove Mese Tatu Nekrochi Gangri Rawe Kore Shinkanzo Edang Dewa Maru Jungwene Chere Sewa Tenzin Jasoyi Shabe Side Watu Tengyo Ching Champel Power Jita Jembada Kundu Dambo Deya Deshin Jing Deta Mwenye Jesu Dalo Jing Ewa Bita Tamjera Ru Gyawa Tamche Wakala Chodu Mawane Dagi Geve Zawa Digi Sambo Chujira Tu Hawaii
I didn't have to check. 저거는 이제 한국만에 올라가서 소말리아 아니 시대기니 로봇 중인데 뭐라다 장사하고 거의 차트샷 이런 것이 대표적인 거라면 이제 또 샌드들의 전체 수용다 된다 이제 제샷 아니 믹스기 때문에 수도 전에 거기디 맨데 다들 충분히 또 앞에 되는 소리야지 뭐랑 템데이션 가서 레벨들이 막 프리소스 되나 하고 있다 알죠. 가면 좀 그래서 온다. 시라 템데 야버스.
루무철.
먼저 감.
알레로로.
어디 제자. 안들 무슨 요즘 쉬우치 거. 제샤 그래서 온다. 다른 무슨 그런 거 제발라 때네 다른 무슨 옵션들이 시라 야고 차버스. 치기 그래서 그러나 뒤다 뭐는 도시는 계속
So then I forgot to actually acknowledge Hui here, who has pivotal in actually helping Rinpoche complete his studies, sponsoring his studies. And not only that, after Rinpoche's completion of studies, Hui came here to be with Rinpoche, and also gave this mandala set to the center, which I actually consider to be very, very auspicious. That Rinpoche would be actually able to, give, excellent teachings here because of that auspicious circumstance. So I would like to offer a simple kada to Hui, to thank you for helping Drupal Rinpoche and for your role, directly or indirectly, in actually helping Kajuling Center. So we're going to stop here for the day, and we're going to see each other very soon.
이거 더 가리고. 자, 자도 좀 봐.